In today's episode, I'm going to tell you how to get a co-write with a hit songwriter. As a songwriter starting out, to improve your craft, you have to co-write with other people that have more experience than you do. And one of the best ways to get your songs recorded is to write a song with a hit songwriter that already has the connections that you might not have. So where do you find hit songwriters? Well, a lot of songwriters do shows, and afterwards you can go up and talk to them and meet them. And this also applies for artists as well if you're trying to get your songs recorded by them, which we'll talk about in another video. Over the years I've done a lot of songwriter shows, and I've met a lot of aspiring songwriters that want to write with me. I made this video called Night at the Bluebird on a website called extranormal.com. Now, Extranormal used to be a website where you could go on and type in a little script and it would create a little animation of some computer-generated characters talking to each other. There's a ton of them on YouTube that are really funny. One of my favorite ones is called The Band at the Wedding. I highly recommend checking that one out. But I wanted to do one about some of the typical things that aspiring songwriters ask me after a show, or talk to me about after a show, and try to make it funny. So hopefully this video will show you what not to do, and what to do, in order to get that co-write with a hit songwriter. So here you go. You got the chance to meet a hit songwriter. First, introduction.
Hello. I am new to town and I loved your show. I know all the songs you've written, even your Buddy Jewel album cut.
So the first thing this guy, or robot, says is, I know all your songs, even your Buddy Jewel album cut. Well, an album cut is a song that's on a record that's not the one that's the single on the radio. And the song that I have on the Buddy Jewel album that he did after he was on Nashville Star is called O'Reilly Luck. And it's one of my favorite songs I've ever written. Wrote it with Steve Williams and Will Rambo. And it's on a record of mine called Country Squire. I think it's always a good thing when you meet a hit songwriter to let them know that you've done your research and you know a little bit about them and their career.
Yes, I like most of your hit songs, except for that one you played. It kind of sucks. I don't know how a piece of crap like that ever got on the radio. Every time it comes on I change the station. But listen, I am a songwriter too and sometime I'd really like to write with you.
I don't know why people feel like they have to be brutally honest with you about your songs. This is not how you're going to get a co-write with a hit songwriter. I mean, sometimes you're nervous. You might stick your foot in your mouth. I had a show one time where a lady told me about my hit songwriting with Private Malone, and she said, yeah, you know, I would have changed that second verse and written it differently. Well, that's your opinion. It was a #1 hit.
How long have you been in Nashville writing songs?
I don't live here. I live in South Dakota.
Now, being from out of town is not always a bad thing. Hit songwriter Steve Seskin has had multiple #1s, and he's never moved to Nashville. But I think what a hit songwriter wants to know is, are you available to write if we decide to write? Are you going to be around? Can we get together?
Do you play in a band there? Does your band do any of the original songs you have written?
Well, no, actually, I don't even play the guitar. I don't really have the time to learn how. I can hum a bit though.
Now, it really doesn't matter if you can play guitar or piano or not. There's a lot of folks that just write lyrics. But myself, when someone asks me about writing with them, I want to know that they have some kind of commitment to their craft that they've put in. When this guy says, yeah, I don't really have time to learn how to play the guitar, it makes me think, well, how committed are you to writing songs? Most songwriters that have hits have spent years and years and years working on their craft and put their blood, sweat, and tears in it to get those songs recorded and to have hit songs. And typically, they want to know that even if you're a novice, what is your commitment? How much work have you put in so far to work on your craft?
I really think we should write a hit song together. Do you know Kenny Chesney?
No.
What about Rascal Flatts?
No, not really. Okay, well, how many songs have you written?
Maybe 3 or 4.
Okay, do you have any demos of the songs?
Not really. Actually, I wrote them all down on these crumpled up napkins in my pocket. Will you look at them and tell me what you think?
This really happened to me in a bar before. A guy said, hey, look, I'm a serious songwriter and I would like to write with you. And I said, okay, great. Do you have something I can check out? And he literally said, well, I've been writing the words on these napkins here in the bar.
How am I supposed to know how the music sounds? Are they fast songs or slow songs? What is the groove? Are they commercially viable?
My mom really likes them.
So one of the things you need to have are demos or recordings of your songs. Now, they don't have to be super fancy. They could be recorded on your phone or something. But you need to have something you can give to the hit songwriter so that they can hear what you're doing to see if they want to write with you. Now, back in the day, we used to give out cassette tapes and CDs to people like that at shows. Nowadays, it's good to give somebody a business card that has your website address on it, or potentially like a page that links to a SoundCloud or something like that, where people can hear what it is that you're doing and what you have to offer as a songwriter. A few years back, I got a CD in the mail from an aspiring co-writer, and I listened to it, and I thought the stuff was pretty good, but there was no return address on the envelope. They didn't put their phone number on it or put an email on it or anything, so I couldn't get in touch with them to write. And I thought their stuff was pretty good. So it's very important to have a business card or some kind of postcard or something like that that you can give to people with your contact information on it and a link to where they can hear your music. And there is a very inexpensive way to do that online. You can use a service that's called Vistaprint. They can print up business cards and postcards and things like that that you can give to people to promote yourself. This is very important. In the show notes below, there is a link for Vistaprint that will give you a discount by using my referral code.
Can I email you some songs to critique?
I don't enjoy spending my limited free time critiquing novice songwriters' work. Most new writers suck.
Now, it is a smart thing to get feedback on your songs and get them critiqued. But if you're looking to co-write with a hit songwriter, they're probably not the person to ask at that time. There is a great organization in Nashville called the Nashville Songwriters Association, and you can visit their website at nashvillesongwriters.com. They do have services for critiquing your songs and helping you get better as a writer. They also have a lot of monthly meetings, and a lot of them are done online. So if you're not in Nashville, you can watch virtually from your computer. Also, NSAI has a thing called Adopt-A-Shop, where they do seminars and things like that in cities outside of Nashville. And on their website is information about that, so you can find a local chapter near where you live. This is a great way to meet other co-writers as well.
Plus, you could sue me if you sent me something and you think I stole your idea, even if I didn't.
Another reason that hit songwriters might not want to write with you is the legal aspect. Sometimes if you give an idea to someone like that, they may inadvertently steal it, not even on purpose, but there's the risk for getting sued. So sometimes that's why it's tough to make those kind of connections when you're a total stranger to the person.
Can you tell me how to copyright my songs? I don't want anyone to steal them.
One of the things I get asked a lot is, how do I copyright my songs? How do I protect myself from somebody stealing my song ideas? Well, that's probably a topic for another video. But I'll just say this. All the years that I spent in Nashville writing, it was very rare that I ever heard of somebody getting sued over copyright because somebody stole their ideas. That's just my experience.
Listen, good luck to you, but there are other people waiting to talk to me and I want to try to sell them some of my CDs before they close this place. It's late and they are already telling people to leave.
Another tip for getting that co-write with the hit songwriter. Be brief. Tell them who you are, tell them you're a songwriter, tell them what you do, give them your card, and get out of there. Now these days, even hit songwriters aren't making the kind of money that they used to back in the day. So a lot of us do shows and tour and things like that, and selling CDs is a part of our income. So if you're there talking too long to the person when they're trying to sell the CDs, they're not going to sell as much, not going to make as much money.
Oh yes, I already bought your CD. I plan to burn 30 to 40 copies of it to give to all of my friends. After that I am going to upload it to Kazaa, LimeWire, and BitTorrent so millions of people can illegally download them. The people need to hear your songs. I am helping you out here. You need more exposure.
People die of exposure.
Now this video was made back in 2010 when there was still quite a bit of illegal file sharing sites out there. Thankfully, those have been kind of put to bed for the most part. We want to know that you like our stuff and that you're sharing it. That's great. That's how people get to know what we're doing as artists. But we also like it when you buy the CD.
How about Keith Urban? My mom thinks I should sell my songs to Keith Urban.
Okay, we don't sell our songs to artists, they license them.
We don't sell our songs to artists. I did another video about this very topic. It's called How Do Songwriters Get Paid? And you can check it out at this link.
Maybe we could write one and sell it to Taylor Swift.
She writes all her own songs and doesn't record other people's songs.
Here's 2 pitfalls this guy is making when he's talking to the hit songwriter. Number 1, he says, let's sell a hit song to Taylor Swift. Well, 1, you don't sell your songs. And 2, Taylor Swift pretty much writes all her own songs. So that shows the hit songwriter that you don't really know much about the business. You have to have some kind of basic knowledge about the music business if you want to write with a hit songwriter. I mean, they want to know that you've done your homework and that you're someone that they want to write with.
You can put your name on any of my songs if you like them, and if you get them recorded by George Strait, I will split the money with you.
Maybe you should join the Nashville Songwriters Association. They are very helpful and are a great resource for new writers.
But I'm not a new writer. I have written 4 songs already.
You are a new songwriter. You've only written 4 songs. On napkins. I've heard it said in Nashville before that you're not really a songwriter until you've written at least 100 songs. And I think that may be true. That's not to say that a guy starting out might not have a killer idea that becomes a hit song. It's happened.
My publisher only wants me to write with other hit songwriters, or with artists, so I'm not going to write with you.
I think a lot of co-writing in Nashville is done because of the connections. So if I co-write a song with somebody, then their publisher is going to pitch the song, my publisher is going to pitch the song, I'm going to pitch the song, my co-writer is going to pitch the song. We got 4 different outlets there for trying to get that song recorded. So it's a network of people that it takes to get the song in the right place for it to become a hit. So it's tough as a new writer to hook up with a hit songwriter sometimes, because as a new person, you haven't made all those connections yet. So it's not very advantageous for the hit songwriter to want to write with a new person a lot of the time. But hit songwriters typically have publishing deals and they write all the time, so they run out of ideas. So they might need a new fresh idea from a new writer like yourself.
What about Toby Keith? My mom thinks I should sell all my songs to him. Can you get my songs to Toby?
This guy just won't quit. Okay already, he's not going to write with you. Move along.
Why would I pitch your lousy songs to someone like Toby Keith when I am trying to get him to record my songs? Plus he writes most of his songs. My publisher wants me to get my songs recorded, not songs that we have no financial stake in whatsoever, that are written by people from South Dakota who visit Nashville and stop by the Bluebird Cafe twice a year.
Actually, this is my first trip here. Do you know Garth Brooks? I think one of my songs is perfect for Garth Brooks.
No. Garth Brooks has retired and moved back to Oklahoma.
What about Porter Wagoner?
Porter Wagoner is dead.
Okay, one final question. If we do write together, what do you like to come up with first, the words or the lyrics?
What do you like to come up with first? The words or the lyrics? So to recap, if you want to get a co-write with a hit songwriter, here's some things to remember. 1, let them know that you know their songs and what songs of theirs you're a fan of. 2, try not to stick your foot in your mouth. 3, make sure that you have your contact information and a link to where they can hear your music printed up that you can give them on a card or something that you get printed at Vistaprint or Staples or wherever else. Number 4, I didn't mention this before, but you might want to also let them know about your accomplishments as a writer. Maybe you've gotten a local award, or maybe a local band has recorded your songs, or maybe you even got a cut on an album already. Number 5, be brief, especially if it's after a show. A lot of folks want to talk to these guys when they get done, so tell them what you want to tell them, give them your contact information, and get out of there. Number 6, buy their CD. It doesn't hurt if they know that you support what they do by buying their music. Number 7, do your homework. As a songwriter, you really need to know how this business works if you want to be a part of it. Number 8, be polite. If they act like they're not interested in writing with you, then thank them and move along. They might say no, but then again, they might say yes. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, and if you have any questions about all this, leave me a comment in the section below. I'm Thom Shepherd, and I'll see you somewhere out on the road.